If you want to break free from the cycle in your real estate sales business of working from commission to commission and actually building a sustainable business, you first have to realize the 4 phases of a real estate business. And to be honest with you, most agents never make it out of phase 1.
Elise and I have been teaching this model for years, and we are committed to helping agents move from production to legacy.
This means words like retirement, stepping back from your sales business, perhaps a showing assistant model, and ultimately leaving a legacy with your sales business that goes beyond the last transaction that you worked.
What's up, guys? I'm Lou Raven.
And I'm Elise Palacios.
And together we formed Reinvest Real Estate to help agents move from production to legacy.
And we say that in every video, but what exactly does that mean?
Well, today we're going to break down the whole thing for you. There are 4 different phases that go into selling real estate or building a real estate sales business. And phase 1 is money. This is the production phase.
We refer to this as the hustle phase. And as I mentioned, most agents get stuck in this very step of working really hard and getting a lot of output, which is great, but it's really hard to move beyond this and think bigger than just working really hard to build your pipeline and close deals.
Now, to be perfectly clear, working hard is essential, and it's an ideal that's kind of lost, I think, in this day and age, although probably every generation's been saying that since the beginning of time. But to be very clear, real estate does involve a lot of work. You'll never hear it say, here's the next best quick get-rich scheme. And unfortunately, there's a lot of that out there on the internet. So if you've fallen for that, know that you do kind of need to go back a step and actually do the work to build the business. So in phase 1, you're hustling and you're trying to build a business that's going to bring you income in relation to the amount of effort and time you put into it.
Which is fantastic, but once again, you get stuck with low flexibility, working a lot of hours, and the answer that comes next is either you get burnt out and you leave the business, or you find a way to implement systems and leverage to earn, which is our next phase, your time back.
So Elise, what should people do if they're in phase 1 of their business? What's the main goal?
Obviously, closing more deals, which means you're furthering your skills in earning clients and closing deals and creating some sort of lead generation that's somewhat repeatable. You're confident in your process when you're talking to clients and potential clients, but from there you're wondering, okay, I'm having a lot of conversations, that's taking a lot of time.
That's right. And that leads us to stage number 2, which is time. Many agents get stuck. They can't even get from stage 1 to stage 2 because they just simply don't know what to do. So if that's you, if you've been selling for a while, making good income, but you're burning out, listen up. This is for you.
Phase 2 is actually a ton of fun. You've reached that level where you're making your goals, you're earning money, and you're successful, perhaps getting your family to a different lifestyle. You have the capability to go on vacations or spend money on a new car, whatever's important to you. But the reality is, do you have time to now spend that money?
That's right. At this point in time, a lot of agents feel like they've made it because they've gotten back to the income that they were making at their prior job or they've eclipsed it, and that's awesome. The problem is they don't have time to actually enjoy being a business owner and some of the fruits of their labor. Like you said, they have money to go on vacation, but they don't have the time to actually take that vacation with their family. This is my favorite phase of a business development for a real estate agent. We absolutely love taking agents out of production and getting them through the time freedom stage.
We were talking to an agent last week where we proposed the idea of taking a month out of their sales business, and their jaw dropped.
Yeah.
We're like, this is what we help agents do. We've helped this person get there and accomplish that and have the systems in place to support that as a very real possibility within a year or 2.
So what does this actually look like if you're in phase 2? The first thing you want to do is delegate low-level tasks. Look at everything you do in a given week and ask yourself, am I the best person to do this, or should I be doing it based on the hourly wage I could earn by doing more lead generation and more lead follow-up?
And a lot of people get stuck on exactly what you said. Am I the best person to be doing this? And it's not that you aren't the only person who could be doing this. Is what we try to tell agents is that even if you're the best person to do this job right now, you can train somebody to now rise to that occasion and take on a task.
Well, let me tell you a cold hard truth though. There are a lot of agents that hide behind the screen of busyness because they don't want to do more lead generation or more lead follow-up or new marketing activities to try to grow their business. So they stay busy forever and they're stuck at their income in their little phase 1, phase 2 purgatory world, never to break out because they won't face the reality that they can get rid of a lot of their work to do the harder work to earn more money.
How we help agents in this phase is we focus on tracking their business metrics. First of all, where are you currently and what tasks need to be passed off and how can you figure out what's currently being done already?
Yeah, so it's important that you're tracking your daily activities, that you have good habits, that you're working on improving every single day and making more money. It's amazing how little attention people pay to where their time goes and how much they're making. I talk to so many agents who never look at their time and they never consider their dollar per hour. Some agents don't even look at their lead sources and how much money they make from every single one. We have a friend who we'll call AC, and we sat down with them the other day and we were looking at their sales numbers, trying to determine where they could get some time back or how they can make some more money. And what we found was AC was getting some referrals from their brokerage from the relocation program. The problem was he was paying about 30% or so for the referral to the brokerage, and they were reducing his split from like 80% down to 50% on every single sale. What that meant was he was netting $2,500 on average from these 14 sales, and the 15 sales that he did with his sphere of influence, he netted $7,500 from it. So I said, hey AC, you've got to stop working with these relocation leads. They are 3-to-1 less efficient than what you're doing working with your sphere, which you told me you like doing better anyway.
Which is exactly why teaching agents to say no is just as important as teaching them to hustle and build a scalable business. It's important to realize what's a good opportunity and what's possibly not the best opportunity for you at that time.
Just because something's going to make you busy doesn't mean it's going to make you successful. So at this phase of the business, to sum it up, this is all about learning how to work smarter and not harder. That means learning how to be a better leader, implementing systems, and tracking your financials and the actual inputs that lead to the sales that you're generating in your business. You've got to be smart and tactical about where your time goes.
At this point, you're a leader whether you know it or not. You've been successfully leading your clients from the very beginning all the way to the closing table. Now it's just a matter of transferring that skill set into running your own business so that it's scalable and repeatable and earning you the most money possible while also maintaining your time.
So some easy things you can do is hire a transaction management company, an executive assistant, outsource some marketing tasks, or find ways that you can delete work or automate it.
Phase 3 is even more fun than the one before it. This whole sliding scale looks like you're working uphill, but if you notice, it eventually evens off. So this is starting to get a little bit easier. You have a business where you're no longer the main product. Your business is running itself somewhat, and you're able to figure out where and how you can take a step back from your day-to-day sales business.
In phase 3, you're working on some higher level tasks and things that'll pay you beyond just what your work is. So you're looking at things like unique investment opportunities. Maybe it's owning rental properties, doing development deals, building a short-term rental in the Bahamas, earning revenue share through attracting agents to your company, or even building a team.
Ultimately, you're left with the freedom of choice, which means you can work, but you don't have to. And you have the income, the stability, and the systems to support you in whatever decision you choose. We do work with a lot of agents who just love the business and they don't want to fully step back. But here's an opportunity to evaluate how much you want to still be involved.
That's right, and having made it to this phase and working on my transition to stage 4, I can tell you that there are a lot of benefits of being here. I got a lot of time freedom when my son was born. I was able to take 3 or 4 months off to be with him. We moved recently, and stopping working during that period, but knowing checks were coming in was extremely helpful. My son was just sick for 3 weeks, and I was able to be home with him while he couldn't be at daycare. And it's nice just to know that residual income is coming in no matter what I do. I love my businesses. I love working in them and scaling them. But I gotta be honest with you, having that freedom and exiting the day-to-day operations has been such a blessing.
Legacy phase means you've built something bigger than yourself. You're earning money, and now what's actually important? Is it helping others? You've created generational wealth for just yourself possibly, and now it comes down to what's important to you. And what we've decided and what we're doing at Reinvest is giving back to the agent community and building something that's bigger than either of us.
That's right. The Reinvest community is a true community where there are multiple people collaborating and contributing every single day. It's something that will live on well beyond my last transaction, and it will be something that perpetually coaches agents. We've sort of memorialized our work in a way in the classroom tab, and we give a lot of it away for free just so that agents know how to do the basics of the business at a very high level. In fact, I would argue that agents can go from production to time just by looking at the free resources. I don't know if you'd agree with that or not.
If you take the opportunity to connect with others and learn and be a sponge in this phase, you absolutely can get there faster using the tools that we have available.
And this legacy phase really opens up a lot of doors. When you're not worried about the day-to-day transactional grind and running a team and managing a team, you can be freed up to think bigger picture and to meet people who are working at bigger levels altogether. We're very fortunate to be in contact with somebody who has a show on a major network and do a little TV work ourselves, and to also be working with somebody who makes 7 figures passively from the real estate sales business. So there's some exciting partnerships that are coming up, and it never would have happened if we couldn't have transitioned through this process.
So ask yourself, are you in the room with people who are going to help you get to the next phase in your real estate sales business? And that's a question that a lot of people eventually come to when they make a brokerage change or they just raise their hand to ask questions. Realistically, how we start our conversation with an agent we just met is, where are you currently? What are your current systems in place? What are your current goals? What phase are you in right now? And not even just recognizing where you are. You actually write things down to figure out what you need and what you want in your business.
That's right. It's a very reflective time, and we have some set questions that we ask people to kind of probe and really get deep. And some of them are very practical. We will do a net worth analysis with people and figure out, are you positive or negative, and how much money are you making passively every single month? And we'll also ask those harder abstract questions that help identify, are you burning out without realizing it, or are you actually working sustainably?
Once an agent has a really good understanding of their current business needs and wants, we're going to now talk about where you're going and what that next phase of business looks like for you.
That's right. You need to have a roadmap and a North Star that directs you to where you're going, and you can actually calibrate your business plan around that. Now, the fun thing, or the interesting thing, I think, is that this an iterative process that you go through as you walk from every single stage. So if you're stuck in the time phase, we're going to ask you questions to help you identify where you are, and then we're going to build a plan with you to help you get to the next phase. And we'll build a whole business plan around that with you.
And at the beginning, this seems like a lot of work. But as we get from each phase and move up, you're going to find that this is a lot of fun. You're figuring out what's important in your life. And our conversations shift from real estate sales into your personal development and leadership skills and who you want to be along the way.
And the fun thing is, we've had a lot of these conversations so we can make it easy for you. So if you're watching this video and you're getting really nervous and kind of worked up about it, don't. We are here to be your guides, and you can find us easily by going to Skool.com and searching for Reinvest Real Estate. We also have links down below to the community, and we have a link where you can book a call with either myself or Elise.
And don't forget to subscribe. We post new real estate content weekly.